In this video, the learner will use properties of rhombi to solve problems. So far, we've looked at quadrilaterals, and we've looked at kites and parallelograms, and now look at where rhombus sits. A rhombus is the combination of parallelograms and trapezium. The definition of a rhombus is a quadrilateral with 4 congruent sides. The properties of a rhombus are going to include all properties of parallelograms and kites, and that's because of its position in our flowchart. So we have our set of congruent sides. All 4 sides will have the same measure, and because a rhombus is also a parallelogram, the opposite sides will be parallel. Because this is a kite, we have the diagonals that will be perpendicular, and we'll create 4 right triangles. Also, because this is a parallelogram, the diagonals will bisect each other. So notice the segments here with 3 dashes and the segments here with 4 dashes. A property that is specific to rhombi is that the diagonals will bisect the opposite angles. We know because this is a parallelogram that the opposite angles are congruent, but this diagonal actually cuts each one of those angles in half. So each one of these pieces is cut into 2 equal parts. The same for this diagonal. It also cuts each angle that it touches into 2 equal parts. Notice because the opposite angles are congruent that all of these parts are equal to each other on the same diagonal. Here we have rhombus RSTV, and we're told if angle RST is 67, this green angle here is 67 degrees, we want to find the measure of RSW, this pink angle. Well, a property of rhombi is that the diagonals bisect each one of those angles at each vertex. Therefore, RSW has to be half of RST. So 67 divided by 2 is 33.5. This is a problem I want you guys to complete. Find the measure of angle SVT if given the measure of angle STV is 135 degrees. In this problem, we're given the measure of angle SWT is 2x plus 8 degrees. Find x. Well, SWT is this angle where the diagonals intersect. Well, we know the diagonals are perpendicular to one another, so angle SWT is 90 degrees. Therefore, 2x plus 8 is going to equal 90. And then solve this equation. Subtract 8 from both sides, and then divide by 2 to get x equals 41. Here we have what is the value of x if the measure of angle WRV is this angle here, and WRS is 7x minus 19. So WRS is this pink angle. Because we know the diagonals bisect each angle, we know that these 2 angles have to be congruent. Therefore, we will set 5x plus 5 equal to 7x minus 19, and then solve for x. We'll subtract 5x from both sides and add 19 to get 2x equals 24. Then divide by 2 to get x equals 12. What I want you to do is then find the measure of both angles. This is a problem I want you guys to do. Each one of these will be independent of each other in this rhombus. Next, I'd like you to write 3 to 5 sentences about how you would prove that a quadrilateral is a rhombus on the coordinate plane. Some questions to consider as you're answering this. What information is necessary? What do you need to show? And then, of course, how would you show that that's true? After you've written your response, I'd like you to consider the quadrilateral connecting the points J at -7, -2, K at 0, 4, L at 9, +2, and M at 2, -4. And I want you to determine what type of quadrilateral it is. You may end up with more than one classification.